𝗕𝗲𝗊𝗘𝗢𝗓. You sound like Joe Springer when cassava was going up. You know what's happening to Joe Springer now? He's somewhere in Thailand. I don't know how he's making ends meet. This is your future, buddy.
The shorts lied in wait. They were waiting and they flooded the airwaves, and they go and grab the filament A and phosphorylate it, causing changes in the filament A.
Phosphorylate. I mean, trash is, one man's trash is another man's treasure. If you have Alzheimer's disease, any drug worth a shot. But no, it's not going to really change the course of Alzheimer's. I don't think Bib is dead. CAPR is just a FDA approval. They filed on 8 patients, a 20-patient clinical trial, 8 patients on drug, 12 on placebo. And they're hoping to get FDA approval, I want to say around August. Bernie Sanders, he's one of the greatest politicians of all time. He's from Brooklyn. He actually went to the same elementary school as the super capitalist pig, Martin Shkreli, farmer bro. So they're from the same neighborhood in Brooklyn. And then he became a communist. And now it's going to be Bernie can still win. Bernie 2028. Bernie 2032. I'm never too old. I'm never too old to do it. Thank you for your support. I'm going to need you to chip in $20. There's literally a PDUFA date. I want to say it's August. The CAPR, 8/31. 8/31 PDUFA. Mark it on your calendars. It is currently 4/24, so 4 months away. They'll probably tell them early too, right? And they told them to do a clinical trial. CAPR is actually a decent stock price now. 500 million market cap. That's not bad. That's cassava. It's a kind of a cassava-like company. There could be a bubble in private credit, but it's possible. I mean, who would that impact though? Money's still expensive. I mean, I don't think the bubble's that big. I want to see some defaults. Maybe things will change, but I'm not sure Visa or MasterCard. There's a lot of signs of weakness of luxury consumers. Everybody had kind of a soft quarter. LVMH in particular. Yeah, I'm running a market making. It's dropped a little in the last 30 minutes to an hour as the market's risen. I still don't quite have the beta hedging perfect. Hermes is in Paris. I definitely need to have like a baggy money victory. Welcome to studio, John. So would you call yourself a bag holder? Yes. What have you held the bag on? GameStop, AMC, Strategy. Ooh, all the favorites. Okay, John, well, we're gonna help you win some of that money back. First question. You get $1,000 per question. First question, what is a balance sheet? Know this one. What impact do short sellers have on prices? What impact do you have when you diamond hand and never sell? I'll show the Wall Street guys. When I diamond hand, they won't know what hit them. Can't trade my 600 shares, stupid shorty. Well, we'll see how HIM's next quarter goes. We can actually get some of that with credit card data. Yeah, it's down a little bit, Rocco. Still outperforming, I think. But, it's the first month. It's about 50% gross exposure, so I like international markets a lot. There's usually more arbitrage there. Pepsi should be fine. Should come back. Okay, so J&J changes their first disclosure from immunology to oncology. Very interesting. So Carvicti's still growing. Carvicti's pretty impressive. Around a 1.4. But Darzalex is just a monster. Imbruvica still declining. Rybrevant. Talvey, is that the first disclosure? I think so. This is a newish drug. Interesting bispecific. And good old Zytiga. Don't forget 𝗕𝗏𝗰𝗍. It's a slower launch than I would have thought. 𝗕𝗏𝗰𝗍 looks like it's pretty much peaked out there. A lot of multiple myeloma candidates. Fjellgluten? I don't think you can invest $1 million to get $1 million. I'm sorry. Yeah, if Google says something about quantum, or they don't more likely don't say anything about quantum. Rigetti is barely up. I have such a little time for other entrepreneurs. Of course, I wish them all well. I just I mean, quantum is like a referendum on high tech and future tech and the cap and risk frontier curve. How much risk do you want to take? Chiropractic is pseudoscience until your back really hurts and you'll do anything. I don't think it's that difficult, Zach. Chiropractic does. I mean, I think it's mostly pseudoscience. There's no evidence that that the interventions result in any long-term relief. PayPal's not too big, like 1%. I'm just waiting for a little bit of positive performance before starting to go a little more ham on these positions. 𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗢 is better, oversized. Somebody wants me to look at ARE, Alexandria Real Estate. It's a REIT. 𝗕𝗏𝗀 is not even growing that fast. End of an era for Stellara. Antipsychotic sales are dropping a little bit. Spravato, though, good numbers. Spravato's doing $1.2 billion in revenue annually. That's ketamine, if you guys didn't know. I've never worked in private equity for a private equity firm, but I've done my own private equity. I don't need an H100 right now. My friend is one of the biggest renters of these boxes, so if I need one, I just rent one from him. Krabbe has a tough disease. I mean, there's always guys you can talk to raise money. You know, you can ask our mutual friend. There's one guy I used to work with named Ron Tillis. He's not the most trustworthy guy in the world. But as long as you set the rules and you set the parameters, he'll raise you the money. He helped me with 2 companies. Thera's is just being acquired. It's just been a poorly run company for a while. And consensus is 201, then 211, then 221, then 241. So the street's at 879. I'm at 906. Let's see how sales differ. They're at... Oh, that's EBITDA. Come on. Sales, they're at 89.17. I'm at 90.3. Who do you think's going to get closer? I got search growing 11%. Last quarter grew 13%. Quarter before that, 12, 14, and 14. But I have it slowing down a little. I have YouTube at 12. Network, I think network is falling. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's always good. Yeah, network has been down. And then I have cloud at 30, which is probably ambitious. Probably not going to do that much in this weird one-time thing. So now my number is 208, which is still above the street. It's 201. And at 89.17, maybe cloud I can soften a little bit. But even then, I mean, their subscriptions have been growing fast. So I made it a little closer to the consensus, which, you know, you're not supposed to force yourself to curve fit, but I kind of want to look back at Q1 24 and see they had that big one-time gain. Let me see what that was. Gain on equity securities. That doesn't count. That's not going to repeat itself. Strip that out. Oh, wow. It would narrowly miss if that were the case. I also did lower cloud growth a bit. This might be tricky. They may not beat. It's going to be a close call. That's kind of our Google earnings preview. Who else is reporting tonight? Did it sell off? TCX is a drug company. Think about this. I didn't make it. This is just... I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is earnings. Annual earnings. Google's annual earnings for the last 10 years. You can just click this too. 2020 was $2.93. So they've grown earnings from $1 to $10, or I guess an estimate of $10 in 26. The ticker is EM, or I'm sorry, the function name is EM, just like on Bloomberg. I have to look at Heidelberg Materials in Germany. No gold allocation. I might short it. When you're running like a 10-15 person company, it's a little bit different from running a 100-person company. You have somewhat different responsibilities. Gold's a consensus long now. I remember last time gold was a consensus long, 25 years ago. Our receptionist bought gold. You don't have to be a solopreneur. I mean, at some point, you do want some helpers. You know, having a coworker or two is not the end of the world.
Order cancelled.
And it'll decrease your loneliness, and you never know. I mean, you guys come up with good ideas. I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but I think that, you know, coworkers can often have lots of connections. Let's say you're making a drug company. You try to do it as just you. We say, we really need to talk to Pfizer about this thing, and you don't know anybody about Pfizer, but if you got a 10-person company, somebody's going to know a contact at Pfizer. If you got a 1-person company, you can't leverage that. I'm not a big fan of the solopreneur thing. I'm not saying you should have a far-flung company with too many people. You missed the gold trade, 3000 BC, dog. Mesopotamia. Smart money was buying. Every state is different with employment law. It was obvious long once the pharaoh started killing people for gold. So I need that too. Blackrock, let's go. I could probably find out. Let me see. I can actually find this out. Who at Blackrock owns it? I'm not supposed to reveal this kind of thing, but in this case, let me take a look. Okay, rigetti Blackrock. Okay. Blackrock Fund Advisors owns 6 million. BlackRock Institutional Trust owns 4 million. The rest of it's all index funds. Okay, so BlackRock Fund Advisors advises on all the iShares from SPY to Russell to everything down. So if rigetti is in Russell, and it's all passively managed. There's no people sitting there managing it. Yeah, I'm going through each component of it. So that's BlackRock Fund Advisors. They own 6 mil. Then 4 mil is BlackRock Institutional Trust Company. These guys are a little different. They manage iShares MSCI. Yeah, but BlackRock is now the number 2 holder. 𝗕𝗏𝗃 is a pipe guy, so 𝗕𝗏𝗃 is gonna dump. Bessemer is distributing. It's all index guys. Nobody with the brain is long the stock. Yeah, UBS. Yeah, it's all BlackRock is all Russell. It's all in their Russell stuff. Yeah, it breaks it down pretty good. 4.8 million shares. 4.8 million shares of their rigetti holding comes from the iShares Russell 2000 ETF. This is rigetti. These poor baggies, man, they're so stupid. Okay, BlackRock owns 15,105 shares, okay? But it's all passive. So iShares Russell, because they're in the Russell 2000, BlackRock has to buy it. They don't want to buy it. They have to. And that's 7 million shares. No, hold on. It's 4 million shares. Then they have the iShares Russell 2000 ETF, value ETF. I don't know what that's doing in the value ETF, but some computer chooses that. And there you go. Then they have the iShares microcap ETF, and they're in that too. That's 409,000. Then they have the iShares core S&P total return, or total US stocks, and that's 300,000 shares. Then they have the iShares Russell 3000, which is very small. Okay, so what else do they have? They have the iShares Global, that owns 153,000 shares. Then they have the BlackRock Institutional Trust, which is another 4 million shares. And then they have something called the Master Small Cap Index Series, which this might be a real decision maker. 200,000 shares. Then they have BlackRock Advisors. I think this is also, no, it's not. It includes iShares, but it might include some real people. I used to know this stuff. 315,781. And then they have BlackRock Inc., which is more iShares and stuff like that. And that is 75,344. Okay, so this totals out to almost all of it. I skipped one or two. There's like a small cap value index, and then there's something called a 𝗕𝗏𝗃 group. There's nobody sitting at BlackRock like excited about literally nobody. Oh wait, I made a typo actually. 153.046. Yeah, so all of it comes just because they're in the Russell. It has nothing to do with somebody at BlackRock being bullish. I've had BlackRock as an investor. They're not stupid. They don't just jump into like this. Vanguard is the same way. Vanguard doesn't have a single person analyzing these stocks. So this is great liquidity for us. UBS is the same thing. It's a passively managed fund. There's no individual stockholder that actually likes it, which is like really sad. Yep, still on Google. Yeah, the interactive portfolio is basically, I made it just to develop bot trading, so it's not my specific account. I think I've shown it. It's basically just every large cap. Yeah, XKO. I mean, as long as I kind of roughly break even, I'm fine with it. But yeah, it's R&D expense. Yep, still short quantum. Have not changed my mind. I had to look at Crocs. It looks like they're gonna have a rough year. I hate stocks like that because you're trying to guess what's gonna happen to fashion. Sorry for keeping it real. I mean, we'll see. It could go down, it could go up, we don't know. This is the EM function on Godel. If you haven't used it, it's awesome. Street's expecting 681, excuse me. So maybe a little bit better for 𝗙𝗏𝗘𝗢𝗕 and 𝗕𝗏𝗰𝗍 than I have. That's about it.
Order cancelled.
And EPS wise, $1.78 in earnings. Yeah, they should be able to beat, but we'll see. 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗍𝗍, I've probably got a little too high expectations there. I always forget Q1 is a bit of a reset quarter. Q4 is usually a little seasonal. Well, minutes away from these earnings reports. You know, we'll see who does better by year end. And, ooh, Q2 guidance is not that good. Yeah, Intel's going to trade down on that. I don't know if people think it's going to be a relief or not, but that's not wonderful. Gilead is out. Intel's out in an AK. I'm sorry, not Intel, Google. Okay, Google 90.234. Not particularly huge beat there. Net income beat by a huge amount though. YouTube was a little light. Network was light as expected. Subscriptions did well. Cloud did fine. I mean, Google's more in line than some massive win. Are people excited about the cost cuts or something? Incredible cost cut. Then there's this big one-time gain that we should not be counting. Yeah, I would fade Google and fade Intel here. See how it goes. I don't even know how to do after hours trades here. Intel. So 2076. Okay, how about, wait, 2076. It already dropped. Thought it was up. I have 2 shares. So you want me to sell the 2 shares and then short? Is that the idea? Can't do market orders after hours, of course. See, the trade already happened. Oh, it's actually still up 6%. Who called Intel, baby? Who called Intel? I still got it. Yeah, let's look at Gilead now. Gotta go one at a time. It was a little light, but 𝗕𝗏𝗯𝗓 was a little better than expected, so it's all good there. 𝗕𝗲𝗆𝗃 a little light, actually down year over year. Poor 𝗕𝗲𝗆𝗃. I call it 𝗕𝗲𝗆𝗃. Gilead seems like pretty in line. I don't think it should sell off too much. Maybe worth a purchase down there. But yeah, I'm proud of myself. Intel was not that good. That guidance was bad. It was trading up. That's how you know I'm that guy. Yeah, I'm a pretty big quantum disrespecter. And these are good prices. They fell a little bit when the tariff stuff happened. So this is a pretty good time to re-enter if you were in there to begin with. Or Google earnings were okay. I think there were some pretty low expectations. Merck's got to replace their biggest seller, Keytruda. It doesn't look like they're making much progress. A lot of software's web these days. Say Facebook, for example, doesn't really have an installed product, or Google. Could you imagine having to install Google on your Windows machine? Doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think the web kind of has a nice thing where, you know, you get guaranteed compatibility. It seems like it'd be a surprise, since it does seem like at least one other company took that approach and it seemed to have been successful. So I'll take a look at what they did exactly. Sounds like one of these papers where the devil could be in the details, and your framework or your frame of reference could actually be, if you can make something that can reason, that's the... And there's already been some incredible results that were unanticipated from AI. So yeah, I'll have to read the paper. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. I haven't looked at arXiv in a while. We've sort of got off the AI track just because, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of money to make there easily. I know that sounds weird. Yeah, publishing. I'm not sure how many people are using their product. And there's a couple of other companies in that space, right? And I mean, they don't have a product, right? So for that, they have some papers, right? But they're not showing you anything under the hood. No lesson is out yet, no. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna make it. I mean, it's not like they're doing poorly. They have some revenue. They're nowhere near the other company. And I can't see Google kind of letting them survive. They kind of are going to be bear hugged by Google or Amazon. I mean, it's just a new legitimate technological advance. There have been many. How much gets invested into it, and is that the right thing to do, and did somebody extract value with it? Those are all different questions, but certainly nobody can argue that it's not a legitimate technical advance. Go a little overboard trying to invest in it. Oh, I mean, no, there's no doubt that we're not there yet with respect to techniques and technology. That's why I'm, hoping Noam Brown at OpenAI or somebody like that can crack a new code. Obviously, people think it's going to be 𝗓𝗍. I certainly wouldn't bet against 𝗓𝗍, but I'm not betting on him. Mankind won't change that quickly, don't worry. QUBT is the funniest, man. They don't even have a CEO. They fired their CEO for fraud. We sitting here worried about, maybe D-Wave is going to actually do something. Maybe IonQ's ion traps might work. And then this stock goes up the most. QUBT, Quantum Computing Inc. Hilarious company. Ooh, ARM dropped a lot. Cube has been up 30% a year for a little while now.